Hi guys, I've finally gotten to that point where I can't ignore the Amazon Lord of the Rings TV series. Let's be honest, since my channel has primarily only focused on Tolkien's Númenórean history, I know, not cool, super niche, nerd, it would be strange for me not to bring it up sooner or later. It's everywhere. So I felt I would throw my coin into the ring and tell you what I think of the concept and the recent news and rumours of nudity and what that would mean. Let's start off with the concept. By now you have probably heard the basics. The show will be set in the Second Age of Middle-earth. Due to the fact Amazon isn't allowed to directly affect the established timelines from the First Age, and especially the Third Age, which encompasses The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings books and film trilogies. To a lot of fans, the Second Age is a very vague and unknown period in history. If you haven't read the Silmarillion or Unfinished Tales, it just won't make any sense. But in a nutshell, it's a period in history when the Rings of Power were created, when Sauron created his One Ring, when the elves, Númenóreans, and the dwarves of Khazad-dûm fought a great war against Sauron, and the elves lost the great kingdom of Eregion, when Rivendell was built, the creation of the Ringwraiths, and when the Númenórean kingdom, the Rome or Atlantis type civilization, established by Elrond's twin brother Elrost, the ancestors of Aragorn and the kingdom of Gondor, rose to the height of their power, but in the end it was destroyed and sunk to the bottom of the sea, due to the evil of Sauron and the last Númenórean king, who became corrupted by Sauron, which finally leads us to the Last Alliance, which you will be familiar with from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. There is a lot there, but in reality it's very broken up and incomplete in the books, which means there is a lot of space for interpretation, invention, and exploration of Tolkien's world, so long as it does not infringe on the established timeline. Behave yourself, Amazon. To somewhat quote Tom Shippey, a Tolkien scholar who helped on both The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Amazon has a relatively free hand to add details since Tolkien did not flesh out every detail of the Second Age in his appendices or unfinished tales. It's a bit of a minefield. You have to tread very carefully. The Tolkien estate will insist that the main shape of the Second Age is not altered. Sauron will invade Eriador, is forced back by the Númenóreans, is taken prisoner and brought back to the Isle of Númenor. There he corrupts the Númenóreans and seduces them to break something called the Ban of the Valor. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the ban concept, this is a law that was set down by the original deities and high elves of Tolkien's world, restricting the Númenóreans from sailing west, preventing them from finding a place called the Undying Lands. In other words, the land where the deities and God resides. All of this must remain the same, but Amazon can add new characters and ask a lot of questions, like what has Sauron done apart from this, outside all of these events? Where was he after Morgoth, his master, was defeated? This happened in the First Age. Theoretically, Amazon can answer all these questions by inventing the answers, since Tolkien did not describe it. But it must not contradict with anything Tolkien said. That's what Amazon has to watch out for. The most recent rumour is that the show will be like Game of Thrones. You know, nudity, sexy times. This comes from two sources. Bezos, the head of Amazon, asked for a show to be like Game of Thrones, and recently they hired an intimacy coordinator for the show. This is someone who helps with the well-being of actors who participates in sex scenes or other intimate scenes. But before you think this means Game of Thrones, this can be as simple as holding hands, looking in someone else's eyes, dancing, and then sex, masturbation, or nudity. So it could just be the case the actors are not able to hold hands correctly, or act. It can be very tough. Now, personally, I don't put much credence, just yet, to the idea they will make the TV series like Game of Thrones. For one, it would completely conflict with the theme of Tolkien's work. Sure, there were great love stories in his books, most commonly known with Aragorn and Arwen, but these were never the core of his work. In fact, it was barely mentioned overall in his writings. In fact, the great expressions of love in his works were the friendships between characters and the fellowships formed during times of great struggle and adventure. Now, I'm sure there will be nudity, kissing, holding hands, and the possible camera cutaway when people do make the sexy time, which I have no problem with. But I would be shocked to see anything beyond this. That type of physical drama falls squarely within the realm of Game of Thrones and its theme. Now, if it does go beyond the point of no return, the showrunners will have made a big mistake and will have completely misread the fan base of this series. That's it for now. Please check out my production update video I am releasing soon. It has all the latest production rumours and gossip, and an interesting piece of information in relation to the length of the first season. Thanks, guys.